Ethan clenched the edge of the bathroom sink, water dripping from his hair as the icy shower failed to cool the fire coursing through his body. His breathing was ragged, his mind racing. He hadn't eaten much at the banquet. But what had he eaten? The food Susan brought him. A cold, hostile expression twisted his face. Damn it, how dare she? The bathroom door slammed open with a deafening bang, startling Susan as she knelt on the floor, spreading out the mattress. Her hands froze mid-motion, her head snapping up. Ethan stood in the doorway, his wet hair clinging to his flushed face, beads of water trailing down his bare chest. But it wasn't his appearance that made her breath hitch. It was the fury blazing in his dark eyes. What's wrong with you? She stammered, inching backward instinctively. Ethan's presence felt like a storm rolling in. Before she could react, he crossed the distance in 2 long strides, gripping her arm with a force that made her wince. Did you spike my food? His voice was low and dangerous, every word sharp enough to cut. Susan's heart thundered in her chest. Her lips parted, but the words caught in her throat. I don't know what you're talking about, she whispered, her voice trembling. Ethan's grip tightened, his fingers like iron against her skin. His glare bore into her. Don't lie to me, he growled. Who else would have had the chance? Susan's resolve crumbled. She could see the fury in his expression morph into something darker, more primal. Panic surged as his hand shifted to her neck, his touch cold and unrelenting. It was me, she cried out, tears welling in her eyes. I'm sorry. Ethan's jaw clenched, his fingers loosening just enough to let her breath, but not enough to free her. How could you? His voice cracked with fury and disbelief, his features twisted in a mix of anger and betrayal. I trusted you. Susan's tears spilled over as the realization of what she'd done hit her with full force. She had played with fire, and now she was burning. The intensity of his gaze wavered as the warmth of her skin under his palms seeped through his rage. It was maddening. Her presence, her scent, her everything. His self-control shattered like glass under the weight of whatever was overtaking him. With a rough motion, Ethan flung her onto the bed. Susan gasped as she hit the mattress, her hands flying to cover herself as the fabric of her clothes gave way. But Ethan's movements were erratic, as though battling himself. He swore under his breath and stumbled back. The next second he turned and stormed toward the bathroom. The door slammed shut with a resounding bang. The silence that followed was deafening. Susan lay motionless, staring blankly at the ceiling. Her body trembled as she replayed the last few moments in her mind, her heart sinking with every thought. The slam of the bathroom door had felt like it echoed inside her chest. He hates me. She clutched at the torn fabric of her clothes, her tears drying into a cold, heavy ache. She had been disastrously wrong to think this plan could ever work. Her chest heaved as guilt consumed her. She'd crossed a line she could never uncross. I'm sorry, Ethan, she thought, her lips trembling as she closed her eyes. But the apology felt hollow, even to herself. The sound of the shower splashed relentlessly for nearly 45 minutes. Susan paced anxiously outside the bathroom, her thoughts racing. Had something happened to Ethan? Was he all right? Summoning her courage, she knocked hesitantly on the door. Ethan, are you okay? I'm sorry. Do you need me to— The door burst open with a loud bang, startling her into silence. Ethan stood in the doorway, his face flushed with fury, droplets of water clinging to his hair and skin. His eyes burned red with hostility, locking onto her like a predator cornering its prey. I'd rather die than touch a woman like you, he spat, his voice sharp enough to slice through steel. Susan froze, her mind blank as fear gripped her. How much did you add to the food? He demanded, his voice low and dangerous. Before she could respond, Ethan grabbed her wrist and dragged her into the bathroom. In one swift motion, he shoved her under the icy stream of the shower. The freezing water drenched her instantly, and she gasped, the cold cutting through her skin like needles. Her breath came in short, panicked bursts as she struggled against the relentless chill. Ethan, stop, she pleaded, shivering uncontrollably. Only when her body began to shake violently did he yank her out from under the water. I trusted you, he roared, his voice thick with anger and betrayal. And this is how you repay me? With a curse muttered under his breath, he let her go and stormed out of the bathroom. The sound of the front door slamming echoed through the house. 12 o'clock a.m., At the hospital. Daniel strolled into the hospital room, his eyes widening in surprise as he took in Ethan's condition. Lying on the bed, Ethan had an IV drip attached to his arm, his face still unnaturally flushed. "Tisk, tisk," Daniel muttered, shaking his head in mock pity. "Your face is still red. What were you thinking about coming to the hospital? You could have settled this whole thing by just giving in to Susan." Ethan's eyes snapped open, his icy glare directed at Daniel. "Say that again, and I'll make sure you regret it." Daniel raised his hands in surrender, though his grin remained. "All right, calm down. No need to bite my head off." Felix, standing at the foot of the bed, cleared his throat. "Young Master Kelly, please mind your words. You know how much young Master Williams despises these kinds of schemes." The reminder cast a shadow over the room. Daniel's smirk faded as realization dawned. His gaze flicked toward Ethan, whose expression darkened. Ethan's jaw tightened as memories clawed their way to the surface. He thought of his father's manipulation, the scheme that had ensnared his mother and ultimately brought him into the world, a constant reminder of deceit and betrayal. "This was the exact kind of tactic I've hated my entire life," Ethan muttered bitterly. Daniel exchanged a glance with Felix, unsure of how to respond. He sighed, leaning back against the wall. "If she's in so much trouble, why don't you kick her out?" Daniel suggested after a pause. "As if she'd leave," Ethan scoffed. "That woman doesn't know the meaning of shame." "Then move somewhere else. I'll help you find a new place." Ethan's eyes narrowed. "That's my home. Why should I be the one to leave?" His tone carried a sharp edge of indignation. And besides, letting her off so easily would be letting her win. Daniel's eyebrows arched with interest. "You've lived with her for a while now. Are you sure you don't have any feelings for her?" "Feelings?" Ethan snorted, his voice dripping with disdain. "She's nothing more than a nuisance." All right, Daniel said, backing off with a mock grin. "Want me to fetch you some water while you sit here brooding?" Ethan scowled. "Yes, and shut up while you're at it." 4:00 a.m., back at Opal Harbor. Ethan returned home, exhaustion weighing heavily on him. The heat in his body had finally subsided, leaving only residual irritation in its wake. As he stepped into the living room, he found Susan sprawled on the couch, sleeping peacefully. A spark of anger ignited in his chest. How dare she sleep so comfortably after what she did? His fists clenched at his sides. She had caused him unbearable discomfort and forced him to endure hours in the hospital. Yet here she was, resting like nothing had happened. Without a second thought, Ethan picked up the glass of water from the table and flung its contents onto her face. Susan bolted upright, gasping as the cold water woke her awake. Her wide, startled eyes met Ethan's furious glare, and for a moment neither of them spoke. The storm was far from over.
Hey amazing viewers, it's Susan here. Thanks for sticking with us. By the time of the release of this video, only 11% of our viewers have joined the party by subscribing, and 89% of you might miss out on our next mind-blowing video. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and join the exclusive club.